Hi you guys, I'm Mackenzie. I also go by Kenz, and I'm one of the co-founders of Delight Ministries. I am so excited that you're considering starting Delight on your campus. Starting Delight is so exciting because you're going to bring hundreds of women closer to Jesus on your campus, and that is so cool. So thank you for stepping into this. Thank you for having the courage, and know that you're so not alone in this. We're going to be here to help you along the way, as well as provide as many resources as possible to make it super clear and easy for you. So this video is all about the initial steps in getting started, so be sure to watch this all the way through. In addition to that, we also have our mission and vision video. That one's really awesome. It just shares a little bit more of the story behind how Delight got started and our dreams of what it could look like on your campus. So it's really awesome. Be sure to watch that. And in addition to that, we also have the leadership guide. That's basically a written version of this whole process in getting Delight started. So be sure to read that as well. And then lastly, we have the portal, which provides just additional resources for you. More videos, more guidelines. We have a couple of preparation guides in there that I'll mention later. So the portal is really helpful and will hopefully be a big resource for you as you're getting Delight started. So this video is going to walk you through all of the details, some really exciting things. I'm really excited to share this all with you, so listen carefully. So the first step in getting Delight started is building a leadership team. Building a leadership team is honestly the most important part, because this is what's going to allow you to reach so many women on your campus and just do so much more with your Delight chapter. So typically, a leadership team is around 5 to 10 people. If you have a really big university, you probably want to get probably 7 to 10 people on your team. If it's smaller, 5 to 7 is probably a good number. There's a couple important things to keep in mind when building a team. The first is thinking about a really diverse team. So you want to think about people that represent different sororities on campus, different sports teams, different friend groups, grades, majors, all the different things, because they're going to pull from their circles of people, and it's going to make Delight feel so much more inclusive, and will just spread the word of Delight all across your campus so that hundreds of girls can come to Delight. And it's not about numbers, but all about just making sure everybody's welcome and everybody's invited, because you don't know who's needing this community. So think of a really diverse leadership team. Second to that, you want to think about a team that is just passionate about Delight and going to make time for it. Somebody that's so passionate about women's ministry, maybe they've heard about Delight, whatever it is, somebody that's going to be willing and ready to take full responsibility and step into it. So keep those two things in mind, passion and diversity. The first way to go about this is to compile a list of just anybody and everybody you can think of. Maybe it's somebody you've seen on social media that you think is really cool and awesome, and you got to DM them and reach out to them. Just have the courage and go for it. Maybe it's somebody that you've seen that's involved in another campus ministry that would be a great fit for this team, or maybe it's just a close friend. First and foremost, just compile a list of all of these people, and then one by one, start to grab coffee or lunch with them and just tell them about Delight. Be sure to hand them some of our resources, whether it's our videos or some of the guides we have, just because that will help them get a visual of what Delight's all about. But sit down with them, tell them all about Delight, and then also ask if they have a couple other people in mind. More times than not, you'll sit across the table from somebody and they might be able to think of 1, 2, or 3 other people that would be passionate about Delight leadership. So the more conversations you have, the quicker your team will be built. So just meet with people, and your team will come together. You really have to have courage in this. You really got to be outgoing. Ask anybody and everybody. This first step could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. Maybe set some deadlines for yourself so you can stay on top of it. But this is going to be a really vital part of like a successful Delight chapter. So take it seriously. Don't just invite anybody on the team. Be really intentional and just have a lot of meetings with people, and it will come together. The second step in getting Delight started is becoming an affiliated organization on campus. So this process is pretty simple, but it looks different at every school. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and go into like your student life or campus life on campus and tell them about Delight, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Typically, it's just an application you fill out with a couple different requirements. They'll be able to give you more guidelines in that. We do provide a couple resources. One thing on the portal you'll see there is a constitution, which they typically ask for, so you can go ahead and use that. If the organization has, or if your university has any questions, they can reach out to us, but typically it's something that you'll just take initiative in, and you want to take initiative in it early on because it can often take a little bit of time. So go ahead, go into your campus life and get this process going. This will help you to just have a bigger and better on-campus presence. In order to meet on campus, you have to be recognized to reserve space. You want to be at those campus fairs, so you got to be recognized to do that, putting up posters, all of those things. So it's a super important part of the process. So go ahead and take that step forward at this point. Your third step in getting Delight started is super, super simple. It's kind of funny this is actually a step, but I want to make sure you know about it. And this is our starter contract. So you can only fill out the starter contract once you have your team built. So be sure to have your team together and solidified before doing this. But this is a simple form that you'll fill out, and once you submit this, we will send you a little starter kit that has a Delight banner and some fun other little surprises. And in addition to that, we'll also send you directions on setting up your Delight social media accounts. So you will be able to take initiative in that. And also we'll just add you to like all the back end of Delight stuff, like our website and app, and some things that are more official. So the starter contract just lets us know that you're actually getting started, that this is actually happening. So it's really fun and exciting, but also super simple. So be sure to do this once you have your team together. Now the fourth and the fifth step are two really preparation steps in getting Delight started. So these are two guides that you'll want to go through. One's called the Get to Know You Guide. You'll be able to find it and download it on the portal, as well as the Leadership Planning Guide. So these two guides are meant to go through once you have your team built. Every new team goes through these two guides. The Get to Know You Guide is all about building relationships with the people on your team, because hopefully you guys all won't know each other super well. So you really want to set just a good foundation on your team, knowing each other spiritually, knowing each other's story, really defining each other's gifts and places on the leadership team. So this one's super, super fun. The second one is the Leadership Planning Guide, and this is just more logistical. It talks through splitting roles on your team and who's going to be in charge of what. It also talks about creating strategy and spreading the word on campus. It talks about planning for your kickoff day and how you're going to go about that. So this one's like just really important. You'll feel really prepared once you go through this guide. Together, those can take up to like 6 meetings with your team to go through. So if I was you, I would set some deadlines in your head, like a deadline to have your team built and campus organization stuff done so that you can have room to go through these prep guides. Now, not in every case will you have 6 weeks or 6 meetings to go through these guides, and that's totally okay. You can honestly get through these guides in probably 2 long meetings. They'll just be really long meetings. You might even get through it in like one lock-in Saturday meeting. But best case scenario, truly best case scenario, is if you have like 6 meetings to get through this, or 5 or 6. So leave room for this. These are really important, and you won't want to get Delight started until you've gone through both of these things. So yes, I'm excited for you guys to go through this. This is like one of the most exciting parts of the process because it's really when you'll be able to plan and prepare, and everybody will be like so pumped for Delight on your campus. So you can download them on the portal. So these are the initial steps in getting Delight started. Once you get through these 5 things, you really will have a foundation to get launched, to have that kickoff day. Is going to be so good. Be sure to remember that every Delight chapter starts at the beginning of a semester, maybe the like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th week. So if you're watching this video and you're past that point, you'll want to use the rest of the semester to just prepare and lay a foundation. But if you think you can just like take initiative, hit the green light and go, then please go for it. The process and timeline in getting this started is kind of different depending on when you signed up. So if you think you can do it now, do it. If you need some more time to prepare, that's totally fine too. Now that you've watched this video and hopefully the other videos in Leadership Guide, now is a good time to schedule a call with somebody from Delight to ask some additional questions. There are people here that so want to talk to you, so want to connect with you, and will walk you through every detail along the way. Maybe they could also FaceTime with your team. There's so many things that we can do and help with, so be sure to schedule that call and get connected. It is time to change so many lives on your campus. It's going to be so good. Thank you for doing this. Again, thank you for having courage. Together, we're going to reach thousands of women all over this country. So thank you. I'm excited for what this is going to look like, and we will talk to you soon.